So what's going on guys, Kate's here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the top 6 best support heroes in Dragonheir Silent Gods. And just before we start, I want to clarify that yes, this video is sponsored, but I'm not getting paid for saying positive or negative things about the game. All that they said is just to give a try to this game and see if I like it. So, the game just launched globally and is now available on the PC through the Epic Game Store, Steam, Mac, iOS and Android. And if you want to try out and join the new D&D Legends in Dragonheir, then download the game right now using the link in the description. So, if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then moving over to the first and best overall support hero, and it is the Donella. She is a legendary hero that uses Radiance element, and she mainly attacks from melee range. In Dragonheir Silent Gods, every hero brings a unique set of skills and abilities to the battle, so selecting the right hero for the right fight will be very crucial for your success as you grow your team and progress your account. On top of all of this, here are my top 8 ratings of the dungeons that I use this hero on, and for each one I ranked the Donella rating from 1 to 5 stars. So this happens very rarely, but this one is one of the only heroes that gets 5-star performance for every single activity. This hero has such a good synergy and his support skills are that powerful that I haven't seen a better support hero that can help easily farm these dungeons very quickly. Then as far as her skills go, the leader skill will increase all allies' accuracy by 50 in all battles. Then her passive skill will summon a magic puppet bird that flies to a random enemy at regular intervals and deals radiant damage with a 75% chance of inflicting healing prohibition for 5 seconds. Then the battle skill will activate the spanner that will deal radiant damage to the enemies with a 100% chance of inflicting stunned effect for 3 seconds. And then finally for our ultimate, she will deal radiant damage to all enemies with a 75% chance of inflicting accuracy penalty too for 10 seconds. Then for the second best hero we have the Ghulende. Ghulende is a legendary support hero that deals damage at range. His element is Necrosis and we mainly use him as a support type of hero. As you can see from my ratings for the top 8 dungeons and areas, this hero has the best performance, which almost no other hero can do. This is definitely not a cheap hero to get, but he's definitely worth it at the endgame content. Then now let's look into his skills. And his first leader skill increases all allies' accuracy by 65 in Grand Gladiator arena battles. Then as for his passive skill, when we will cast a skill on the enemy with HP less than 50%, there is a 50% chance of inflicting charmed and healing reduction for 5 seconds. If the hero fails to inflict charmed on the enemy, then they will inflict accuracy penalty too, instead for the 5 seconds, which are massive amounts of debuffs. Then his battle skill has 100% chance of inflicting stunned effect to the enemy for 3 seconds. And for those next 3 seconds, we will deal necrotic damage on the enemy every 0.2 seconds, stealing 3% of their ultimate energy and healing the hero. And then finally for our ultimate skill, he will deal necrotic damage to all enemies, with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty too, on them for 10 extra seconds. And in the meanwhile, we will dispel all debuffs from all allies and healing them, while as well gaining an increase in that healing for each debuff we successfully dispel. Then for the third hero we have the Voresh. He is one of the only epic heroes that can stand up and compete against all the other legendary support heroes. The Voresh uses ice element and attacks mostly from range. Then as far as his rating goes, the hero has max stars in all 8 dungeons, because this support not only can heal allies, but as well deal significant damage, so if you use this hero, you don't have to sacrifice damage, but instead you get 2 in 1 hero. Then now let's move over to the passive skill, and by using it, it will heal the ally with the lowest HP when dealing damage. And this effect will only be triggered once when dealing damage to multiple targets at the same time. Then his battle skill will deal cold damage to enemies 3 times, and when dealing damage to the enemies, it has a 50% chance of dispelling 1 buff from them. And then finally our ultimate will deal cold damage 3 times to all enemies, with a 75% chance of inflicting buff prohibition for the extra 10 seconds. So this is a very powerful skill that can break or make a team. And then just before we continue, I want to tell you guys about the new upcoming Dungeons & Dragons characters, a new cool event and much more. So Dungeons & Dragons is the world's most popular tabletop role-playing game, and Dragonheir is officially collaborating with them And by doing so, they're introducing new characters like the Jizdu Urten and Air 2 to the game on November 17. This collaboration, Jiz and his Black Panther, the Dragonheir, will have an independent and complete storyline. Players as well will be able to consume the Heliolite dice to participate in the Planeswalker summoning for a chance to summon the event's exclusive hero, the Jizdu Urten. Dice skins like D20 and D4 are also free to get, as long as you complete the collaborated main quest and their connected activities. Players as well can go and defeat the final villain, Boss Air 2, in multiple ways. Air 2 will be added to a new dungeon after the completion, and you can unlock rewards by dealing big damage in the sandbox world. So what are you waiting for? Try the new D&D Legends in Dragonheir and have fun! And then lastly, I wanna quickly introduce you guys to the Blessed Summons 1. So from the 6th of December till 12, you will be able to summon heroes by using the Heliolite dice. And because of this event, you will be able to choose any 3 legendary heroes. In each summon you don't get one of these 3 heroes, their chances will keep getting increased. So this event is amazing if you want to get a specific powerful hero. Here you can as well see the heroes that you can summon. I personally will be going for the Premsa hero because I really want to try out the Undead Puppet skill, and because of our captain, which will increase our attack by 45%. Then as well some other good heroes is the Ghulende, Garrett, and from the epic heroes the Vicuc. So guys, don't forget to participate in this event. And on top of all of this, you can go to the official Dragonheir Facebook page and watch the new D&D event trailer. Then for the next hero we have the Huldork. He's yet another good support that interestingly enough uses fire element and deals damage from afar. As far as his rating goes, the Huldork has 3 stars in Heretical Ruins and Temporal Vortex, while he has 4.5 stars in the Goblin Lair, which was very surprising, if I say so myself. So then with that said, for the passive skill, he has that when the hero skill deals damage to the enemies within 3 tiles of itself, the damage is increased by 50%. So you don't want to position this hero too far away from the enemy front line. Then for his battle skill, it will deal fire damage to the enemies within range, with a 100% chance of inflicting blind for 5 seconds, and a 100% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2 for 5 seconds. And on top of all of this, he will reduce the target's ultimate energy by 10% when dealing damage to the enemies within 3 tiles of the hero. And then lastly we have the ultimate skill, which will deal fire damage to the enemies within range, with a 100% chance of dispelling 2 buffs on them and a 100% chance of inflicting accuracy penalty 2 for 10 seconds. This as well will reduce the target's ultimate energy by 50% when dealing damage to the enemies within 3 tiles of the hero, with a 100% chance of inflicting stun for another 5 seconds. Then for one of the last best support heroes we have the Tamar. He's a very fun and beginner friendly support that uses lightning damage and attacks from range. As far as his rating goes, I really did not like his performance in the Goblin Lair, but in everything else he was 5 out of 5 stars, so I strongly recommend to use this hero, but just remember to switch it when it comes to farming the Goblin Lair. Then now let's look into his leader skill, and it will increase all allies' accuracy by 65 in Grand Gladiator Arena battles. Then the next passive skill will cast a lightning strike on the enemy whenever they gain a buff, dealing derivative lightning damage, and it has a 30% chance of dispelling 1 buff from the enemy. This skill also only takes effect once on the same target for a certain period of time. Then his battle skill will unleash a forked lightning, dealing lightning damage to the enemies within range, and it has a 75% chance of dispelling 1 buff from them, and another 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2 for 5 seconds. And then finally for the ultimate, he will unleash a powerful lightning storm, dealing lightning damage to all enemies, with a 75% chance of inflicting buff prohibition for 10 seconds. And for the enemies without any buffs, there is another 75% chance of inflicting stun effect for 5 seconds. And then for the last and final support we have the Vicuc. He's an epic hero that uses the poison element and that likes to attack from range. His hero has pretty much the same rating as the previous one, because in everything else besides the Goblin Lair, this hero is 10 out of 10. The Vicuc is similar to the Tamar, because he doesn't have the best AoE, so that's why it's lacking against big monster groups, but he makes up for it in other endgame activities. So then for our passive skill, when the hero is inflicted with a debuff, there is a 100% chance of inflicting accuracy penalty 2, So then for our passive skill, when the hero is inflicted with the debuff, there's a 100% chance of inflicting accuracy penalty 2 on the debuff caster for 5 seconds. Then the battle skill will deal poison damage to the enemies within range, with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2 for extra 5 seconds. And then finally our ultimate will dispel 2 debuffs from all allies and heal them. For each debuff successfully dispelled on an ally, the healing on that ally is increased by another 75%, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other video ideas, like hero guides or beginner tutorials, that you would like to see for Dragonheir Silent Gods in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. I want to thank again this video sponsor, Dragonheir Silent Gods, and don't forget guys to click the link in the description box to download the game and play it for free. Dragonheir Silent Gods is an open world strategy RPG game with a Western fantasy theme, which seamlessly integrates classic Western TRPG gameplay inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, and has gained over 10 million downloads worldwide, securing the top spot in more than 10 regions since its global launch. And as the game just released on Steam, so you can join hundreds of thousands other players in a new adventure, and join D&D Legends in Dragonheir. And if you found this video helpful, then please leave like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you would not miss any more upcoming content. With that said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video, so take it easy, peace